What's going on, Show Nation? It's Movie with Movie Gaming TV, and in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the new Topps Now moment cards for May, as well as the Player of the Month cards for May. Specifically, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the diamond cards themselves from each set. There are golds and silvers for each set, especially for the Topps Now. There's silvers. For Player of the Month, there's golds as well, but I'm going to be talking about the main diamonds and kind of reviewing each of those. And we'll play a little bit of Home Run Derby here in the background. The one other thing I have for you guys is there are some patch 112 notes. Patch 112, I wouldn't expect it to come out as quickly as it has in the past. Like, it's supposed to, it's not soonish, it's soon. That's the way it was described. For gameplay, there are bug fixes, but there are no tuning updates. These are kind of the more important ones I just picked out, so I wouldn't have to go through all of them, to be honest with you, but these are the ones you guys probably will care about the most. Button accuracy throw meter appears as intended on back picks following the pitch out. Frozen in lineup screen, resulting in a loss. That's been happening a lot in BR, as you guys know. I know this one was extremely difficult for them to figure out. They kind of tried to fix this already in the past, so I'm not 100% sure that it's going to work as they have intended it to work, but they are definitely trying to fix that. It's a major problem when people are like 11-0 in BR and then they lose, so they are really trying to fix that, and I hope that they do fix that this time around. And also, the other big thing out of it, multi-game moments can now be reset on the programs menu. So if you're trying to do moments in Diamond Dynasty to unlock, whatever you're trying to unlock, and it's a multi-game one, I think you can now reset that if you don't get the stats you want in the first game and it's a 4-game type of thing that you're going after. You can now reset that rather easily, I believe, from the programs menu. So that's a nice fix. Okay, so our first Topps Now moment card that we're going to talk about is Gleyber Torres. It's going to be a more popular one, I am sure. 96 contact versus right, 68 contact versus left, 105 power versus right, 80 power versus left, 59 vision, 98 clutch. His fielding is only at 59 with 76 arm strength and 50 speed. So he's going to be somebody you're going to need to hide. Probably you're going to need to hide him at third base or second base. I don't know if you want to run out your main shortstop with that low of fielding, but he does have a lot of power. I'm pretty sure this is drawn from his 3-home run day against the Baltimore Orioles. An interesting card, a lot of power. I'm sure it's going to be very popular with Yankees fans. A lot of these cards you guys have to keep in mind aren't going to crack the lineups of superstar, signature series, decked out completion of all the collection type of teams where they're just beasted. But these are cards that are nice to get into the BR type of realm. These are cards that if you don't take your lineup like, oh, I gotta have the best lineup, but you're just kind of more of a fan of a team and you wanted to get that card on your team and use them and have fun with them. This is a perfect example of that with Gleyber Torres. So he makes his introduction into the game at an 87 diamond Topps Now moment card. Our next Topps Now moment card is Jake Odorizzi. He's going to 88 stamina, 89 H per 9, 78 K per 9. He also has 88 break, 80 velocity. He's got pretty much the signature type of pitches: 4-seam, slider, splitter, curveball. That splitter is going to be a lot like his changeup, so that's why I kind of say that with the traditional pitches. Nothing really jumps off the map where you're just like, oh, this is somebody I got to put into my lineup. Like I said before, he's only an 85 overall, but an interesting pitcher. Nonetheless, Jake bounced around from a couple teams. He was actually in the Royals organization for a while before he got traded to Tampa Bay in the trade that brought the Royals. He was actually in the Brewers organization, got traded to the Royals in the Zach Greinke deal. Then he got traded to Tampa Bay in the deal that brought the Royals Wade Davis and the deal that brought the Royals James Shields. Then he kind of bounced around a little bit, started out with Tampa Bay, and he's finally putting it all together with the Minnesota Twins. So it's nice to see Jake Odorizzi kind of fulfilling his potential in the MLB, and he's been rewarded with an 85 overall Topps Now card. The next card on our list is Ryan Presley, reliever for the Houston Astros. 96.89 on the old H per 9, K per 9, 94 BB per 9, extreme control, 87 HR per 9, which is pretty dang high. He's got good control, a four seam, a sweeping curve, and a slider. Not bad pitches for a reliever, especially versus a right-handed pitcher. This card actually is pretty interesting. This card actually could crack a lot of bullpens that I see out there. Now, he doesn't throw super gas, but he's got a lot of control. This is actually, as I look at this more, this is not that bad of a card. There's only a couple relievers in my bullpen that really control well, and that's like Rolly Fingers and Trevor Hoffman that have like elite control out of the bullpen. So this is a very interesting card. The pitch selection isn't quite what you would necessarily want, but he is a reliever. So usually relievers generally have like 2 or 3 pitches that they can really master, especially in real life. So this is actually a very interesting Topps Now card to me. I think it's a very good one. Probably one of the best out there. So this is a good relief pitcher if you want to pick him up and actually use him in DD. And again, I'm sure it'll be popular with Houston Astros fans. We also have as a starting pitcher Hyun-Jin Ryu. I used to really like this guy's motion back in like the MLB 15 days when I would use my player as a creative pitcher at times. I really liked his motion. I'm not sure how much has changed, but it was a really smooth motion. 89, 84 on the H per 9, K per 9. He's got 85 and 84 control. His HR per 9 is pretty low, though, which is going to keep him probably out of a lot of rotations. And he also does not throw very fast at all. But he's been having a great year. I know he's been bouncing back from injuries the last couple of years. So to see him get out there and put it all together. The Dodgers are having a great season this year. I think, for me personally, guys, I think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. They've been there the last 2 years. And I think they're going to put it over the top. Just completely unbiased pick. That's what I would set it at in Vegas right now. This team's been playing really well, in my opinion. Cody Bellinger's having a hell of a year, and they're always just they can always kind of put it together. I think it's going to be probably, and it's baseball, so things can happen. I kind of like the Dodgers and the Astros matching back up in this year's World Series, and be interested to see Ryu out there doing his thing. Got a 90 overall Topps Now moment card. And one last thing I should say about the Topps Now moments too is there are things that you can do to get vouchers. You can exchange the vouchers to open up these packs. And these packs have better odds now. They have a 1 in 10 chance to get a diamond instead of 1 in 25. So they really upped that. So keep that in mind if you want to go for the vouchers and get those done and get some of these packs. You should have a little bit better of pack odds to pull some of these cards, and a lot of times these cards will hold some decent value. They just they're a very interesting thing to check out on the market, so be sure to check that out. All right, so now we're going to get into the Player of the Month cards. Obviously, you put these together in a set to get the top tier Player of the Month. There are, again, like I said, there are some golds. We're not going to cover them in this video. You guys will see them in the collection. I just mostly like to talk about the diamonds because some of them can be usable at times and some of them might be really good. So keep in mind there will be some golds that you need to put in the set as well. But the first card we're going to talk about is Brandon Woodruff. 87 H per 9, 82 K per 9, 70 BB per 9, 66 home run per 9, which is really low. I mean, like 80 plus is really nice, so that's pretty low at 66. 93 velocity, 87 break. I would just say overall, this is a pretty average card. I think he's going to be really popular with Brewers fans, but as far as like, if you're really trying to break him out and add him to your starting rotation, I don't think this is necessarily the card. But shout out to Brandon Woodruff, man. Had a great month. 4-0 in the month. 136 ERA. So a good month for Brandon Woodruff. Next card we're going to talk about is Rafael Devers. Rafael Devers really starting to put it together. An 88 overall diamond. Very nice hitting stats. 105, 92, 83, 87, 79 vision. Obviously, he takes a major hit in the fielding. 57, 74, 47, and 59. 53 speed. Most likely, if you're going to play this card, You're going to want to play him at first base. But again, as I've stated before, I mean, there are more elite options in the game for sure, that especially you're going to want to play as you guys go up the XP reward path. You're going to want to use Frank Thomas, obviously, but it's a cool card to have. I can see this card being pretty expensive in value because there are a lot of Red Sox fans, and you guys should never underestimate people that have big fan bases, like the Cubs, the Yankees, even the Giants have a big fan base. There's a lot of people that are a fan of that team. They want to get these cards for the most part. I would say that's a big thing. And also, these cards are kind of limited, so I could see this card being very, very expensive over time. He just doesn't have the great fielding. He's a nice addition to Battle Royale as well. Devers has some nice hitting sets, and he's a left-handed third baseman or first baseman from the from a hitting perspective, so that's always nice as well. Now, this card I actually think could have some value in Diamond Dynasty, especially if you don't have like the Supermax, the Supermax lineup. 87-120 can play all over the diamond. His defense is very, very bad, but that is some serious, serious power. Only 60 vision, but as the new patches come out, I think his hitting power is more important than it's ever been before. So Dietrich, definitely that's an interesting card, especially a bench bat. 87-120 is no joke versus a right-handed pitcher. Like if you need a pinch hitter late, it's definitely an interesting option. Especially even like maybe you replace the second baseman late when you need a little bit of offense. Maybe you replace him defensively later in the game. This should be a BR beast too if you start him off at the start of the lineup too. 87-120. Let's say you get like a common right-handed pitcher. That's going to be a crazy amount of pop. He's not very fast either, but this is a very interesting card. And our last player of the month, Diamond, before we get into the player of the month boss for this month of May, it's Hector Neris, 103, 102 on the H per 9, K per 9. Does have 82 HR per 9, which is very nice. 103 clutch, 87 velocity, 97 break. He's got a splitter, a 4-seam, and a 2-seam. He's kind of similar in a way to Bruce Sutter, except for he does throw a bit faster, I want to say. I'd have to look up Sutter's stats. And I think Sutter also has the slider, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know. As far as adding this one to your rotation, I almost like that Presley more from the Topps Now packs, to be honest with you. He's got good H per 9, K per 9. He's got good HR per 9, but I don't think the splitter is as scary as it was in years past. If you still do, though, I think that could be a this could be a weapon to add to your arsenal. And with that said, let's get into the player of the month for May, Boss. All right, so here's our player of the month boss for May. Josh Bell, 95 overall card. He hit .390 with 12 home runs and 31 RBIs. A switch hitting first baseman that can also slot into right field. 111 contact versus right, 82 contact versus left, 105 power, 107 versus right, 107 versus left. 70 vision, which isn't too bad, honestly. I'd say like 70 above, as we've gotten the new patch, is more playable. I know like that Jason Giambi that I got out of the, I think it's a Jason Giambi that has like the 103 contact versus right, 120 power. He has like 71 vision. He's an absolute beast. So 70 vision on this Josh Bell is low, but it won't be too bad now that he's going to get rewarded for his power. His defense isn't that good, but first base defense is not as nearly as important as like other positions for defense, because all they need to do is knock it down. so they can, flip it to the pitcher or what have you. So it's not as important for him to have like great defensive stats. He just needs to be like in the primary position. 50 speed really isn't too bad either at first base. It's not super fast, but it's also not like in the 20s or something. Like he can at least hit doubles when he hits it off the wall. And pretty much in this game, you do need to like hit it off the wall to get a double. So a very interesting card. It's always kind of nice to have a switch hitter on the bench as well. If you want to use him as a bench bat with a lot of power, he'd be an interesting one to have for you guys. I think pretty cool card overall. Yes, he's not going to replace Frank Thomas. Yes, he's not going to replace, Willie McCovey probably if you had him. I even think the Giambi's a little bit better. But it's a super cool card. It'd be a really cool card to have in BR, just being able to hit from both sides of the plate with the switch hitter is always cool, and lots of power and pretty good vision. I don't know. Overall, if you're considering spending stubs on this, I really wouldn't spend stubs on these. I usually, personally, I don't, because they're very expensive, number one, and you have to, you have to sink a lot of stubs in to usually get these done. This is more like if you got a lot of stubs to burn, or like you're a huge Pirates fan and you really want to have Josh Bell, or you just really like this card, go for it. But just word of the wise, I mean, eventually in this game you are going to get Frank Thomas, you know what I mean, once you get to the Diamond Rewards pack, or maybe you already have him. So just consider that before you go through a lot of subs, because these cards will be expensive. They're, they're the new content. So, and the thing is too, a lot of these cards either get put in sets and they're kind of limited as how many there are. So a lot of these cards are very expensive. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, do whatever you want and have fun with the game. I'm just putting it out there. That's kind of like, I didn't do the Bellinger set. I most likely won't do this set either, but I do like it a lot that they have them in the game. It'll be interesting to see if they do buff some of these stats to kind of, especially with the boss, to kind of match the superstar, the signature series cards that we have in the game. But this is kind of up there with the signature series cards that we have in the game. It's just there are some that are obviously better because they're 99 and he's a 95, but a really, really cool card nonetheless. And yeah, that's pretty much the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Gonna be putting out Hitting Tips video 4.0 very soon, probably within the next couple of days, maybe even this weekend if I get time. I've kind of been thinking that I will continue to do them myself, or what I'd like to do is, if you guys have some creators you guys want me to work with, I think it'd be interesting to either work with some top players or some content creators, possibly on the Hitting Tips video, where I just kind of guide them along, and we can get some other people's perspectives. I don't know. I just want to keep that series going because that series is doing very well right now. If you guys have anything that you'd like to see me make a video on, always put that down in the comments below. Be sure to turn on notifications. That's going to be really important for the channel. Just because when I'm streaming as much as I am on Twitch, it's not something that I'm putting out everyday YouTube content. So if you love the videos, make sure you turn on the notification bell so you guys get notified about that. Like the video if you guys haven't already. Follow me on Twitch. I'm streaming 5 to 6 hours a night. I got the Twitch partnership and all that. So we got like fun emotes and stuff like that. And I pretty much am playing ranked seasons all the time. I don't do like grinding or anything like that. It's straight online gameplay. So I feel like it's pretty entertaining to watch. You guys can always follow me on Twitter at MovieGamingTV if you haven't already, if you need to get a hold of me. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great weekend. I'm playing MLB The Show, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.